So whenever we talk about health, we talk about many nutrients, we talk about balanced diet, we talk about vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, carbohydrates, and fats. But when we talk about fat, there is a myth that fats are bad. But that's a myth only, because not all fats are bad. There are fats which are very, very important for your health, for our health, for everybody's health. And one such fat is called omega-3 fatty acid. This is an essential fatty acid nutrient. And we've got a very, very good product, an international quality product that fills the nutritional gap of omega-3 in our diet. And that is called Well Omega-3 Krill Oil. Now, you all know that we import the raw material for Well Omega-3 Krill Oil from a leading company across the world which produces krill oil, and that's called Aker Biomarine. To talk more about krill oil, today in this talk show, we've invited a thought leader on omega-3. He is working with Aker Biomarine for last 15 years now. Right now, he is the Senior Vice President for Marketing and Sales for Aker Biomarine, and is looking after a huge geography of Europe, Middle East, Africa, and India. So with your huge round of applause, let's welcome all the way from Oslo, Norway, Senior Vice President of Aker Biomarine, Mr. Roar Hans.
Hello, Sharad, and thank you very much for such a kind introduction. Thanks a lot. I'm very happy to be here together with you. And
pleasure is all ours, Roar. And I know that you are very, very busy. You're taking care of such a huge geography. You're taking care of Europe, Middle East, Africa, and India, doing all the business-to-business marketing and working on the product also. But such a delight to have you here, and thank you for taking your time out for us.
And I'm very happy to be part of this talk and to meet you, and also to get a better understanding of what's going on in India. So very, very happy to be here.
Sure. So Roar, just first explain to all of us here. So what exactly are omega-3s?
So omega-3s are fat.
Yeah.
And as you said, there are healthy fats and unhealthy fat. So basically, when we eat fat, there are 3 different destinations for fat in our body. So either we store the fat ourselves in our body as fat. That's one destination. The other destination is that we burn the fat as energy during the day.
Right.
And the third destination is that the fat or the fatty acids, they are incorporated into the cell membranes in all the cells in our body.
Okay.
So if we eat enough omega-3s, then the cell membranes, they will get rich in omega-3s.
Okay.
And therefore they will function better.
No, so omega-3 are very, very important, but how do I get my share of omega-3 from my food? From what food should I eat, so that I could get the required amount of omega-3?
So there are different types of omega-3s. Some are based on from land products, and other omega-3s come from the ocean. And when we look to the science, there are 2 dominant omega-3 fatty acids. One is called EPA, and the other is called DHA.
Yeah.
And those are the 2 with the solid scientific documentation. So to get those 2 important omega-3 fatty acids, we need to eat seafood. So we can eat salmon, we can eat mackerel, we can eat shrimps, and we can eat all the species from the ocean.
Okay.
Or we can take a dietary supplement that is rich in such omega-3 fatty acids.
So, but we are talking about krill. So how krill is a superior source of omega-3?
So I would actually say that the very best way to get omega-3 into my body is to eat fatty fish.
Okay.
That is the gold standard. Because then when I eat the fatty fish, the omega-3s, they will be bound as phospholipids.
Okay.
The problem is that when you produce fish oil out of fatty fish, then you lose all the phospholipids. Right. And you end up with something called a 100% triglyceride fish oil.
Okay.
And the body doesn't recognize and utilize the omega-3s the same way from triglyceride compared to phospholipids. So you can say that in a way, omega-3 phospholipids from krill oil, they are closer to the fatty fish than fish oil. Also in krill oil, you have a nutrient called choline. So you can say that in krill oil you get two fatty acids on one side, and then you get choline on the other side. So you get a multi-nutrient natural combination of nutrients instead of only the omega-3s.
So, which ocean do you kind of harvest this krill from?
So the krill is actually from Antarctic krill. So it's the South Pole, so the far south as you can go. And the reason why we go to the Antarctica to harvest the krill is number one, because they are rich in omega-3 phospholipids.
Okay.
And number two, that in the Antarctica they get together in big swarms.
Okay.
So a krill swarm in the Antarctica can actually be up to 1 kilometer in height, 1 kilometer in depth, and 1 kilometer in width. So they get together in those big swarms.
Oh my God, it's 1 kilometer. It's just almost impossible to imagine what kind of a big swarm it would be.
Yeah, it's a huge biomass.
But yeah, so I've heard somewhere between maybe twice the size of human beings on the planet.
That is correct. So if you take the weight of the two of us, and all other humans on this planet, then you will come to about 250 million metric tons.
Okay.
The estimates out there suggest that the biomass of krill is actually twice the weight of all human beings on the planet.
Great. So what does krill oil, how does krill oil benefits me? What all health benefits I would see once I start consuming krill oil and, stick to it for, let's say, 2-3 months at least?
So I think it's fair to say that omega-3 is something you should take. You should not take it for 2-3 months. You should take it for life.
For life, right.
Yeah. So if your diet is not rich in fatty fish, then it's a very cheap insurance to take those 1 to 2 capsules a day for every day during your life, because then you will not end up having problems when you get old. So the most solid scientific documentation of omega-3s, phospholipids, and choline that are all part of krill oil. So the most solid science is on heart health, and on brain health, and on liver health.
All right. So, and one thing that I liked, in your answer is that you've cleared it out that this is for lifetime. I mean, it's a part of balanced diet. Omega-3s are part of balanced diet. So it's not that I'll take it for 2 or 3 or 4 months. It has to be, included in my eating habits for the entire lifetime. Great. So, and how do I know whether the omega-3 levels in my body are really improving or not?
Yeah, so there are ways to test it, and we have done lots of clinical trials.
Okay.
So we know that of course, depending on what else you eat, but let's say that you don't eat any seafood at all, then if you take 1,000 milligrams, so 1 gram, I think your capsules are how much are they? 500 milligrams. Yeah. So if you take 2 capsules a day. Eating no fatty fish, then you will get to the levels where you should be. So that's the learning from our clinical studies. And then there are labs both in Europe and in the US where you can run a test that's called the omega-3 index. So basically you just take blood from the tip of your finger, put it on a paper and send it to the lab. And then the lab will tell you how much of those coming back to the cell membrane. So let's say that the lab will find out that within the sample, in total you have 100 fatty acids. If 8 or more out of 100 are omega-3s, then you will get a green light. So what you're doing is good. If you have less than 8 out of 100, then you will get a yellow or a red light, suggesting that you should eat more omega-3s.
That's very simple to understand. So basically, out of 100 fatty acids, if 92 are bad, at least 8 should be good, which is omega-3.
Yeah.
So you've told us earlier before that omega-3 from this krill oil. This krill oil has a nutrient called choline. So what exactly is choline, and how does choline helps me for my better health?
So I think one key thing with krill oil is that you get the choline and the omega-3s from the same molecule. So that is really important. So you get some synergistic effects.
Okay.
Getting it from the same very molecule. That's one thing. Coming back to in particular brain health and liver health, and I think liver is the place where you have the strongest and solid science. If you don't have enough choline in your liver, what will happen is that the liver will build up fat.
Okay.
And when the liver is building up fat and getting fatty, then it will slowly, day by day, function. The function of the liver will go down. So it will function worse and worse every day. If you have enough choline in your diet and in your liver, then the liver will be able to send out the fat from the liver. So you will not build up fat in the liver.
Now, one more question. So about so this krill oil has a peculiar red color, and which it looks beautiful. Beautiful red color. So where does this red color comes from? Which is that ingredient, and how does it? Is it only for the pigment is only for the color, or it has some other benefits also?
So it's correct that the krill oil is red due to this antioxidant called astaxanthin.
Astaxanthin, yeah.
Astaxanthin. So just to explain the entire chain here, under the ice in the Antarctica, there you have plenty of microalgae.
Okay.
And microalgae, that is the food for the krill.
Right.
So the krill will come and eat the microalgae.
Right.
And it's the microalgae that are producing both the omega-3s and the astaxanthin.
Yeah, great. So how? This is always it's a question in my head. How does Aker Biomarine harvest such a huge amount of krill, for your supplies across the globe?
So we have a special trawl technique that is called eco-harvesting.
Okay.
And the eco-harvesting trawling processing equipment was actually developed by our own fishermen. And the key benefits with eco-harvesting is that number one, we get the krill up into the boat live and fresh.
Right.
Number two is that we don't have any bycatch.
Okay.
So the only thing we take out of the ocean is krill.
Okay.
So the krill is pumped through a hose so that no other seals, seabirds, penguins, so that they see it in a way.
Great. So you have your own process to harvest, and I could say from catch to capsule, the entire process is owned by Aker Biomarine. Very nice. So one last question: is there, so after your talk, I'm sure the awareness about krill oil will increase in India among Modiya consultants, and we will have huge uptake of krill oil. And India is a huge country. 1.4 billion people of us are living in India, and not everybody is a fish eater. So there's a huge demand for krill oil in India. But is there enough krill in Antarctica ocean?
Yeah, there, as we said earlier, the biomass of krill is
twice the size of humans.
Twice the weight of humans, and that's one fact. Another fact is that this year there are 10 boats out in the Antarctica harvesting krill.
Okay.
So there's a very limited fishery ongoing. So the outtake of the krill is not much at all.
Okay, got it.
But I can assure you that we will be able to supply no matter the growth that you can drive in India.
Super. So Ruwa, it was very interesting. We got to know that omega-3 is very, very critical for our overall health. And good for our heart health, good for our brain health, good for our liver health. And of course, it has many other benefits, for skin as an antioxidant and, much more. And one of the best source, I would say the best source of omega-3 is from krill because of the phospholipids and the choline that is attached to omega-3 in the oil. The absorption is better, the assimilation within the cell membranes is better, and that's where the improvement in the omega-3 in our human body would be much better. So we are always eager to learn from you and promote overall health and wellness and promote the benefits of omega-3.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ruwa.
Pleasure to talk to you today.
It was a pleasure from our side. Thank you so much. Namaste.